There's a phrase many of you may have heard before that says the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Class of 2017, you have accomplished more as a part of a network of family, friends, and faculty than you could have on your own. You have shared joys and navigated difficulties with those close to you, and they have been partners in both the celebration and support of your life. Today, we celebrate your graduation, recognizing our diversity in beliefs, values, and faith traditions, unified in our shared belief in the power of love, respect, and gratitude. It is also a time to reflect on your journey up to this moment and to express hope for your future. Love, respect, reflection, and hope. These are some of the qualities that help each of us to move forward, to grow, and to find purpose. They also help us to connect with and support each other as we continue to discover who we are and who we want to be. Today is not only a chance to be grateful, it is also an important time to express that gratitude. Often, we forget through the course of our sometimes busy lives to express how we feel about the support, encouragement, and sacrifices of those that we have surrounded ourselves by. Sharing of that gratitude has the power to forge and strengthen relationships, to lift spirits, foster forgiveness, and cultivate kindness. The journey to this day has been filled with experiences whose impact has been both big and small, expected and unexpected. The path ahead for our graduates holds a vast, unknown, exciting potential. In this moment, it is important to pause, to be engaged, and to be thankful for the time we will share today. As we celebrate both the individual and collective journeys of the class of 2017, may we find warmth and hope in our shared gratitude and kindness. Amen. Please be seated.
Chair of the Board, Ms. Bird, fellow trustees, faculty, staff, alumni, members of the class of 2017, students, parents, and friends. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 172nd commencement exercises of Tilton School. The history behind this occasion and the number of students and families that have been part of our community since 1845 is tremendous. It is an honor to be part of this tradition, to be part of the Tilton family, and I hope all of you sense the uniqueness of this moment. This commencement is about these soon-to-be alumni, but we would be remiss in not recognizing all of those people who made today possible. First, Mr. Heath and Ms. Lynch, supported by their respective colleagues, have gone to extraordinary efforts to make this space special for this commencement. They deserve our applause. I also want to thank the trustees, faculty, and staff of Tilton School. You have all worked so hard to make today possible. Your efforts have shaped this school and these seniors. Your support, respect, challenge have helped propel this class to greater heights. You have prepared them well for the challenges ahead. I know the students and their families appreciate your efforts and recognize your personal commitment. You also deserve our applause. Thank you. I would like to recognize two people today, one on stage and one off. I'm pleased to announce to the school community that our newest trustee is with us here on stage. Jerry Doe, parent of senior Harry Doe, has been appointed to his first term as part of the team that sets the long-term strategic vision of our school. We're looking forward to his wisdom in shaping our future. Welcome, Mr. Doe. I also want to recognize this red chair right in front of me, right here in the front row. It sits empty. As you know, longtime faculty member Rainey Stavins passed away suddenly this spring. Her love for this school and our students was inspirational. We all miss her dearly, and I know exactly what she would want at this moment. She doesn't want a moment of silence. She wants a moment of joy. So on 3, I want to hear your noise, your biggest joyful shout in honor of Miss Stavins. 1, 2, 3. That was awesome. I know that she's loving it. Finally, although it's the students who attend Tilton, it is their extended families that make being here a reality. For all of the soon-to-be graduates, you are lucky enough to have parents, grandparents, friends, and the alumni body of this school who have made it possible for you to be here. This is through their values, their financial support, and their desire for you to be challenged in what I hold to be the most critical years of your life. They deserve to be thanked and recognized at this moment for their sacrifice and commitment to you. Thank you, family. Now that I've mentioned parents, I'd like to share some thoughts with the class of 2017 about mom and dad. Believe it or not, I was once your age, sitting in those very comfortable white folding chairs. And I remember during my commencement, I remember thinking, when is this going to be over? And I also remember the attention from my parents in high school, which honestly I found a little overbearing. You see, when I was in high school, I was a rather unremarkable kid. My grades were good, but not great. I tried to get elected to student government positions, but I never did. And I was usually a reserve player on whatever team I stumbled onto. However, in the eyes of my parents, I was the best kid in the school. Despite all the evidence to the contrary, I was the prize student. They acted as if I had the highest grades. They acted as if I was the student body president and that I deserved to start in every game. In short, they loved me with blinders on. And at times, I found that to be suffocating. For today, seniors, I want you to embrace the attention of your parents. The pride that they have for you and their love for you knows no bounds. Right now, you may notice them in the audience in front of you. They're shifting in their seats, craning their necks, trying to get a glimpse of you. This is normal and natural behavior of the parent animal. Furthermore, after you receive your diploma and you make your way through the receiving line, they'll want to snap pictures and share the joy with you on this occasion. Again, totally normal and natural behavior. You must embrace this love and bottle it up for 2 important reasons. First, your parents are proud of you and what you've accomplished in your high school career. They should be. All of you have grown and made our school better. We, your parents, have the confidence and the expectation that each and every one of you will make the world a better place. We are justified in our love and attention because of what you have demonstrated to us in your high school years. Second, you should hold on to this moment. You should bottle it, because I'm telling you, this is exactly the way you will feel as parents when you look into the eyes of your own children. Yes, I'm talking about your own kids. Now, I know that could be many years away, and that is likely the case for many of you. But while your parents' attention, affection, and love may seem mysteriously obsessive at times, I promise you, you will behave exactly like them when you bring your own child into this world. That is exactly what's happened to me. So today, embrace the love. Smile for the picture. Relish the accomplishments that they're celebrating with you. And know that in the not too distant future, you will feel exactly the same way. People have said that faith, hope, and love make the world go around. The greatest of these is certainly love. There's no doubt that this commencement is unique. This commencement is unique because the class of 2017 has its own character. This class has helped to shape the future course of our school. Together, we have not only imagined a new Tilton experience, but we have taken tangible steps forward. This year, we had a new academic schedule. We had the Black and Gold Games. We had new academic courses. We had new methods of assessment and new techniques to measure the skills that really matter. And these are only some of the prototypes we've tested this year. Our vision of the Tilton experience, built in our historical strengths, is no longer simply a dream. It is becoming a reality. We, Tilton School, we are redefining how teenagers should learn. We are helping our students discover their own unique aptitudes, skills, interests, and learning styles. And we are developing a personalized, guided program of study of intentional opportunities across all facets of school life to develop the skills that they need to become their best self and thrive at Tilton and beyond. Our journey to implement this Tilton experience will impact communities beyond our campus. Tilton is already becoming part of the larger national and international conversation about education and preparing students for the world that they will inherit. And these seniors, the class of 2017, they have been part of this journey. They have been a key role in making sure that we realize this vision. Someday, this class, they will declare that they were part of the movement that changed the face of education. It started right here, this year, the year 1617, under their leadership. I am so thankful for your work and humbled to be your head of school. Thank you, seniors, for all you have done for Tilton. Our first speaker today hails from Georgetown, Mass. Olivia Orlando came to Tilton as a very shy and reserved ninth grader. Although her family has some deep Tilton roots, Liv was hesitant about the concept of boarding schools. Before too long in her first year, she exhibited the trademark characteristic that has defined her tenure. She became committed. I knew it took every ounce of her strength, but as a freshman, she got up on stage and performed the title role in the fall play. And while none of us at the time might have guessed that the little ninth grader playing the role of a dog named Sylvia, would become our student body president, that is exactly what happened. During her time at Tilton, we have experienced Liv's commitment to the students, our basketball team, and to the well-being of this great school. Next year, we will miss her as she moves to Providence College to make her mark. She has made this year so special with her smile, her work ethic, and yes, her weather reports. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Olivia Rose Orlando.
Members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, members of the Tilton School Class of 2017, welcome. I am honored to be speaking to all of you today, the same way I've been honored to be a part of this community and this class for the last 4 years. I thought I'd remain consistent and begin my speech with the weather. It's going to be sunny all day, with a 100% chance that every single one of us are getting a diploma. Dream big, they say. Shoot for the stars, they say. But then they lock us away for 12 years and tell us where to sit and when to pee and what to think. And then we become high school seniors. And even though we've never really had an original thought, we are forced to make one of the most important decisions of our lives. What do we do when we graduate? But lucky for us, class of 2017, we weren't locked away. We weren't told what to do or who to be or where we would end up. We were told to try something new, to challenge ourselves and to create change. At Tilton School, we were taught to think. We were asked to dream, and we were encouraged to believe. Think about it. Most other high school students will graduate and never return to that place they spent 4 years of their lives in. They won't go back to the hallways or lunchrooms they built memories in, because those high school students have had a different experience from ours here at Tilton. If you were to ask them what they would miss about high school, it would be anything associated with their friends or the people they've met. But it would never be the place itself. If I were to ask each one of you what you were going to miss about Tilton, it would be so much more. It would be the relationships. It would be this community, this place we have all fallen in love with. You see, Tilton School has never been an ordinary high school. It's been an extraordinary place. Tilton School is not a place you leave and never return to, as Ms. Brisson said last year at graduation. It's a place that is, and always will be, our home. So whatever we decide to do, wherever we decide to go after we graduate today, my one piece of advice to each of you is don't go looking for Tilton, because you won't find it. Don't enter college next fall expecting to sleep in a tent on the quad with your close friends during orientation. Don't play a collegiate sport expecting a coach to also be an advisor and a friend. Don't try to find a job expecting to form relationships with everyone you work with. Don't expect your boss to also be your friend, or a good listener, or someone who pushes you to succeed. Don't buy your first home expecting your neighbors to be like your roommates or your suite mates. Don't expect the grocery store to be like the dining hall. You won't find your friends to sit with and talk after a long day. Don't try to recreate the laughs, the excitement, the setting, and the moments we've all experienced at Tilton. You can't, and you won't. You won't find outdoor performances and an art show on the academic quad. You won't find pep rallies or the powder keg. You won't find hooping in the winter or winning championships with your siblings and best friends. You won't find a yearbook signing in the student center, or a water balloon fight during spring weekend. You won't find Friday night lights. You won't find movie nights or bonfires on the quad. You won't find Tilton. We may find pieces of it or similarities along the way, but we'll never find another place where everything we love is right there. The campus, the community, the passions, and the people, they're all right there. Tilton has offered us so much more than just an education. Simply put, it has offered us the opportunity to become who we are today. Although just a small portion of our incredible and adventurous lives so far, Tilton has allowed us to create the most amazing relationships and build the strongest friendships. I'll be forever thankful of Tilton for the endless memories, moments, and what I consider the best 4 years of my life. So thank you to all those who made it possible for me to attend Tilton School and help me find another place I can call home. Thank you to my teachers who have challenged and encouraged me, to the non-teaching faculty who have supported and believed in me. Thank you, Junebug and Joey Boy, for supporting me endlessly and being there during every single important moment, game, or achievement in my life. Thank you, Auntie Roseanne and Uncle Paul, for treating me like the daughter you never had.
Love you, Liv!
I love you. Thank you, Johnny O, for being you, for being so much more than my older brother, but for being a friend, a good listener, and a role model. Thank you, Julia, for being my other half, for being my favorite person to play the sport I love with. Thank you, Dad, for always being there. Whether it be our AAU trips or kicking your butt in the gym, you've always had my back. Thank you, Mom, for being my best friend. Through it all, you've always found a way to make me smile or laugh. And thank you, Coach Brisson. Not only have you been my coach and advisor, but you've grown so close to my heart and have become my family. And thank you to the class of 2017 for being an enduring part of my life, for bringing me constant joy and helping me learn more about myself the more I learned about each of you. Thank you for being the best group of people to grow with. Remember, we will change. Some friendships will change, but together we have this bond that never wavers. I never realized how fast time can move when you are doing something you enjoy, or even how quickly a year can go by. I never realized how genuinely happy a place could make me, or how every single moment can matter. I never realized the impact a place and people could have on my life. I never realized any of this before my experience at Tilton. The only bad thing is we don't get to relive it. For all of us, graduation from high school was no easy feat. And on a day full of celebration and congratulations, we are often reminded that things will soon become difficult again. So what matters now is the work you put into your life, not just what you accomplished at Tilton. Never be satisfied with your achievements. Be inspired. Be prepared to become a go-getter. And when we make our final drive down the hill today, be ready to become the people we've always wanted to be. But don't forget this place that helped us get there. Don't forget the quad, the mark, and the people. Don't forget everything we've done at Tilton, and don't forget everything that Tilton has done for you. We've grown up here. We've triumphed here. We've broken down here. We've gotten back up. We've done all of this at this place, and we've done it all together. We won't have this opportunity again. I can't tell you how lucky we are, because we really won't find these people in Tilton ever again. Thank you.
Thank you, Liv. Kung Hao Charles Wong is our next student speaker. From Taipei, Taiwan, Charles arrived at Tilton as a tall and gangly sophomore. During his Tilton career, Charles has tried a number of new things. He has played football, basketball, golf, and participated in our snow sports program. Charles is an adventurous kid, something you have to be if you're going to study abroad in a foreign nation. He has also maintained a high academic average, revealed by his National Honor Society membership, and his McMorran Scholar status. Charles also assumed a leadership role as both a proctor and a conversationalist. Yes, Charles has developed a fine skill at both small talk and debate. This is an aspect of his personality which I have come to personally appreciate. Chatty Charles, as I like to call him, with great affection. Next year he takes his academics, his leadership, and his gregariousness to New York University, where he hopes to make a mark in the hospitality industry. By vote of the senior class, please join me in welcoming Kung Hao Charles Wong.
Good morning to class of 2017. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Charles Wong, and I am a 3-year senior here at Tilton. Before I begin my speech, I would first like to give special thanks to my parents, Danny and Winnie, as well as my lovely sister Anne, for supporting me throughout my high school career. Without them, I would not have been in the place I am today. I would also like to acknowledge how honored I am to speak in front of you all today. Class of 2017, here we are, standing in front of the unknown future with 13 plus years of education behind our back. As we are about to begin a new chapter in our young and grown lives, I would like for all of us to take a second and recall a memory that completed our Tilton experience. Whether it's waking up for Saturday classes or getting screamed at for not running during practice, these are all memories that have constructed your time here at Tilton. Today, I have 3 stories. Nothing much, just 3 short stories. My first story is called Exploring. Coming to Tilton, I often find myself struggling to identify who am I in this small but diverse student population. Not saying I want to stand out in front of the crowd, but I just simply want to know my identity. Being intimidated and scared from not only what's in front of me, but also what I have left behind, I try to invest myself in developing new hobbies and interests. After trying out different sports and activities, I was still unable to find something that I truly enjoy. And boom, here comes football. Coming into the school as a 6'1", 170-pound sophomore, I never had imagined in my life to be part of a football team. Although it took some courage and a lot of persuasions from a couple of my friends on the football team, I eventually decided to commit myself to the football program. Besides, who can turn on such a great opportunity after seeing the expression on coach's face when you hear a student is interested in playing football? As many of you guys may have known, I'm not athletic at all. I can barely run from one side of the football field to the other without being out of breath. And being the small and unathletic kid I was back then, I mean still now, but I could always remember when AJ picked me up on the line of scrimmage and driving me 10 yards down the field on the first day of practice, sophomore year. Although I had a great time at playing football, my football career sophomore year could best be characterized as observing and benched. Therefore, I decided to switch to JVP soccer junior year. However, I soon made my return to the football team when I became the kicker. Although my kicking ranges from good to bad from day to day, I had a great time. I will always remember the look on Coach Jesus' face when I missed a PAT, as well as when I drilled AJ with the football during our games against Hebron. Sorry AJ, nothing personal. My second story is about defining your own identity. Throughout my high school career, I often worry about the opinions of others. Whether it's where I should apply for college or picking the right clubs on a par 3, my decision often rotates around the opinions of others. Call me indecisive if you will, but I am just a victim of living under other standards. Growing up, my family raised me with high expectations. Although this sounds as stereotypical as it can get, the reason to why my family has such high expectations is for me to succeed in the highly competitive society back home. With the constant pressure of expectations, I was forced to study a lot more than I could ever imagine. And as I got older, I realized that I was missing out on my teenage years. In particular, building memories that I would want to cherish in the future. While others were enjoying the summer suns, I was rushing from classes to classes until the sun dropped below the horizon. As I slowly withdrew from all the trending new songs and contemporary social media buzz floating around my friends, I realized that I never really did anything that was fully for my pleasure or pursue a passion. I decided that the only way for me to get myself out of this situation was to get up the courage to communicate with my parents about my true feelings. The conversation I dreaded was indeed hard, but I was surprised that through this first attempt to really talk, my parents turned out to be quite understanding. They know that, as imperfect as I am, I met many of their expectations. It was a relief to discover that chief among their expectations was not that I achieve some ideal of prestige, but that I be a nice, caring person. Because I was courageous enough to disclose my true feelings, I was able to reach an agreement with my parents on having the freedom to balance my social life with academics. I also gained a sense of ownership in terms of pursuing my academic interests, which will eventually prepare me for a career in the hospitality business. What I'm trying to say here is, don't live under the expectations of others. Live under the standards of yourself. If you never had the courage to break out of the restraints of others, you will never be able to be the person you want to be. Be brave. Be courageous. My third story is called Reflecting. Throughout my few years at Tilton, I have met people from all over the world. Although it was difficult to find a group of people that I am able to fit in at first, I eventually found a group of different individuals I am proud to call friends. These people are Pablo, Minho, Alberto, Marty, and Keegan. Words cannot describe the bond we have shared with each other. Although we came from all over the world, we learned to accept one another as individuals, as well as what it means to be a good friend. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves." Throughout the length of our friendship, we often find ourselves in arguments that are unavoidable, sometimes stupid. Although arguing with each other sucks, we all know that this is a part of our friendship that will lead us to a better understanding of each other, as well as gain a better understanding of ourselves. Being able to understand why you are upset is easy, but being able to understand why others are upset is hard. When we argue, it is often hard for us to acknowledge what we have done wrong at the moment. As time passes by and our emotions and frustrations begin to fade away, we may often then be able to rethink the situations and how we could have handled the situations better. This process is called reflecting. The power of being able to reflect upon ourselves is endless. It helps us to not only be able to learn from our mistakes, but also be able to forgive others. Being able to have such a great group of friends is very beneficial. We not only be able to keep each other's company, but more importantly, learn from each other's merits. From Pablo, I learned how positivity and energy can light up the spirits of others. From Marty, I learned the importance of caring and kindness. From Keegan, aka Papi Latino, I learned the comfort you offer by listening to others. From Alberto, I learned how being curious and somewhat reckless could lead to new discoveries. From Minho, I learned the reason to be patient and not being affected by the opinions of others. Although I've never told them this before, I'm thankful for who they are as individuals, as well as the impact they have had in my life. Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the result of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary." Class of 2017. Explore, reflect, and define your own identity. Our future is bright. Our opportunities are endless. Don't be afraid to explore new things. Don't be afraid to reflect on the past. And most importantly, don't be afraid of what others think of you. Life is too short. Make it the most out of every second. Be bold, be adventurous, be bold. Before I conclude my speech, I'll give a couple shout outs. So everyone at Pfeiffer, really appreciate you guys. The basketball team, as well as room 102 and 103. Thank you.
It's my honor to present this year's faculty commencement speaker, Mr. John Elfring. Mr. Elfring received his bachelor's degree from Hope College in 1966. Following his graduation, he taught English and math at the Hill School, the Winchendon School, and Lawrenceville School. He eventually left teaching and embarked on graduate work at NYU in business administration, and then spent many years as an investment banker, a CEO, and a consultant across a number of industries, including steel, plastics, industrial equipment, and electrical components. In 2004, he returned to the greatest profession in the world. He returned to teaching at Tilton School with his wife, Ramey Stavens, where they both put their heart and soul into nurturing teenagers to reach their fullest potential. Anyone who has sat in Mr. Elfing's class knows that he approaches everything from the lens of his experience as a philosopher, as a businessman, and as a grounded human being. Through his work as a teacher, coach, drama director, investment club advisor, debate advisor, and newspaper advisor, he has touched this school in so many important ways. He is retiring this year, and we will miss him dearly in the fall. By vote of the senior class, it gives me great pleasure to present our faculty commencement speaker, Mr. John Alden Elfring.
I wanted to start with something now that I had not planned on at all, and that is because of the talk on that empty chair there for a moment. It was Socrates who said that when you die, you don't have to worry about it because there are only two things that can happen to you. One, you might be able to sleep without dreaming, which is not a bad sleep, or else you're going to meet an awful lot of friends. So it's not so bad when you die, but it is very bad when you lose someone, and all of you have shared with me how much you have lost Ramy, and I can only tell you now how much I appreciate that. It has been absolutely wonderful, and thank you. And so now I will start my speech. So I want to thank the senior class for having asked me to do this speech, especially because it is the last hour of them being high school students. It is also the last hour that I plan to wear a tie. Now, I could make a comment about that and tell you that I have 24 of them in my car, and if any of you would like one, I would be happy to give it to you. I do also want to tell you that it has been a challenge for me to come up with what I wanted to speak about. It's not easy when you have so many personal thoughts that interfere with what you want to say to others. And I just want to make sure that the message that I'm going to give you is one that is of help to all of you. To begin my speech today, I want to mention David Brooks, who ended up giving a speech at Dartmouth College 2 years ago and ended up having a couple of very interesting questions. He asked graduates whether they truly had their own criteria. What a remarkable question that is. Let me ask it again. Do you have your own criteria? Do you have your own standards and the ability to judge your own life? This ability, David Brooks said, is not something that people probably understand till they're about 30 years old. So it is a challenge. After all, most students come to classes and decide that they need to satisfy their teachers because receiving a good grade from a teacher requires that desire. The result is that most do what is expected of them, which is something Immanuel Kant, the philosopher, the German philosopher, ended up saying a couple hundred years ago when he argued that people have slavishly followed the opinions of authorities rather than having the courage to seek truth for themselves, and for themselves to adopt the motto, dare to know. Now, I learned what an issue that was many, many years ago when I was invited by a very good friend to come to Nuremberg, Germany. And I arrived in Nuremberg, Germany, and he said, by the way, you know what we're going to do here? We're going to end up watching an American football game. I thought that was pretty exciting. We went to the stadium, a very famous stadium, where Adolf Hitler had spoken many, many times during World War II, in front of sometimes 1 million people. So we watched the game, and that was exciting. And then we found out that there was a new museum that had been built right underneath the stands of this stadium. And we went to that stadium, and we saw what World War II had been. And it was an incredible experience to see it. It was wonderfully, honestly done. We finally came to the end of it, and then we saw an aisle, and the aisle was absolutely empty, except for a very long distance away, where we suddenly noticed that there were people on their knees praying, And my friend and I said to each other, we understand why people are praying, because after all, what we've just seen deserves a prayer. So we walked down that aisle, and we finally got to where these people were on their knees. And what we then saw was that there was an opening in the wall. And that opening had only one thing in it. It was a stoplight with a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. And all these people were praying in front of it. And then when they got up and went to the exit on the wall, it said in many, many languages, "Perhaps you now understand why we followed Adolf Hitler." And that gave me the message that far too many people simply end up doing what is expected of them. And that's what the people did. And there are few people who really have discovered what their own criterias are. Now, will I want to mention what has caused us to misunderstand the requirements? It started with Adam and Eve living in the Garden of Eden. They decided to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It was always fascinating to me that reading a Chinese writer who wrote 2,400 years ago, whose name was Chuangzi, and by the way, I have to apologize to all the Chinese people here because I don't know how to pronounce the name correctly, but it's Chuangzi, who ended up saying at one particular moment, "Right is not right, so is not so. If right were really right, it would differ so clearly from not right that there would be no need for argument. If so were really so, it would differ so clearly from not so that there would be no need for argument. Forget the years. Forget distinctions. Leap into the boundless and make it your home." Now that's the thought that I would like you all to consider. And if you don't understand the word leap, jump into the boundless and make it your home. Now what does that mean? What he's trying to tell us is that we should recognize and realize that numerous words give birth to each other. A simple word like this cannot be alone because it requires that. If I say, "I like this tree," it can only be said because I do not like that tree. I don't know if you see that tree. If I say that I believe in birth, then I must be aware that I'm also understanding death. If we believe that some things are acceptable, there must be some other things that are not acceptable. We like one, but not the other. We like Democrats, but not Republicans. We like Republicans, but not Democrats. Now by this point you may be thinking, where is this all going? Well, it's going to the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve lived in a perfect world and were told never to eat from the tree with the knowledge of good and evil. But they ate from it anyway, and as a result separated good from evil. Chuangzi wrote that a wise man, a sage, would not proceed in such a manner. A sage recognizes of this, but of this which is also that. It would be a stage where this and that are no longer separate. This is also that. As a result, there is no longer a this and a that, because they cannot exist without each other, and are therefore one. Now, if all of this is confusing, allow me to apologize for this message. Students, please become aware of whom you are. Learn to satisfy yourself and develop an open mind and recognize that ignorance may well be bliss. Remember this: if you act worthily, but rid yourself of the awareness of acting worthily, then how can you ever live a life where you will not be loved? And if that's not clear, let me just show you my own failure in that regard. This means that you simply do what you believe is the right thing to do and no longer do it because you wish to satisfy others. To give you an example of that, I used to walk from Tilton to Maloney, And when I was walking to Maloney, I sometimes saw some junk on the ground, and I would pick it up because I wanted to dump it in the garbage. But every time I picked it up, I would also look around to see if anyone was seeing me doing it, which simply meant that I was perfectly aware of the fact that I had done something that was worthy. The statement that was made by Chuang-Tzu was, if you act worthily, but rid yourself of the awareness that you're acting worthily, then where can you go that you will not be loved? Now, the final part of this, you may end up wondering, what does this have to do with anything? This means that you simply do what you believe is the right, or excuse me, no, oops. What will make all of this possible? It was Luigi Pirandello, the Italian writer who won the Nobel Prize a year before he died, who explained that to us all. Albert Einstein, by the way, went to see his plays in the 1910s and ended up making the comment that he thought that Pirandello was perhaps the wisest man he had ever encountered. Well, he wrote a play called Henry IV, and Henry IV was a king of Germany in the 12th century. He had done some nasty stuff and had done some bad things for the Pope and had to ask for forgiveness. But the play is not about Henry IV. It's about a guy who had to go to a masquerade party and who dressed himself like Henry IV. And he had to ride to the masquerade party on a horse. And as he did so, he fell off the horse and hit his head. And then he woke up again and he said, oh my gosh, I'm Henry IV. And he changed his house to make it look like the palace of Henry IV. And his friends would end up saying to him, come on, you're not Henry IV, what a joke. You're wearing a mask. And he was in fact aware of doing so, but never wanted to admit it. He ended up even making his house look like it was a palace. But finally, by the end of the play, he ends up saying, okay, I know I am not Henry IV. And then he said, I know that I wear a mask. Do you? They denied it. The truth is that most of us do wear masks and present ourselves differently to different people. Doing so keeps us from understanding ourselves. Being aware of that simple fact may allow us to understand who we really are. I hope you will all enjoy the journey of your life, and I thank you all for giving me a chance to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, John. From Milford, New Hampshire, our final student speaker is Caitlin Hess. During her 4 years at Tilton, Caitlin has quietly led by example through her work ethic and talent in multiple areas. Of all the ways to describe Caitlin, I picked the word poise. When she sets her sights on a goal, she achieves it with a quiet, careful confidence that inspires all of those surrounding her. In addition to her athletic prowess, which includes multiple Lakes Region and New England championships, she was awarded the University of Rochester Young Leaders Prize and +5 leadership awards. Caitlin came to Tilton as a talented athlete, but she's leaving for Worcester Polytechnic Institute next year with the ability to inspire others to great heights. This is her gift, to inspire others. In her role as class president, she will now present the senior gift. Please join me in welcoming Caitlin Marion Hess.
There is a moment sometime in late March or early April, a split second, where the fingertips of winter graze spring's palms, resulting in the blossoms of the purest and most beautiful green. Moments like these are replicated every day of our lives, from the most cheerful laugh to the deepest feeling of gratification after knowing something you did made someone else smile. These pure, interpersonal moments all of us can create. However, few of us recognize the opportunity to create these moments of vibrant color wherever we go. Miss Stevens was not like most of us. She was blessed with the ability to create these perfect moments in our lives from pretty much any circumstance. Her embodiment of the saying, "Be your own kind of beautiful," most of us strive to emulate, yet Remy was her own kind of beautiful effortlessly. Her love story with Mr. Elfring is something I thought only existed in fairy tales, and the class of 2017 cannot thank Mr. Elfring enough for sharing such a special person with us. Mr. Elfring, your dedication to your students, your colleagues, and most importantly to Miss Stevens, are facets of your life we all look up to and admire you for. On behalf of the class of 2017, we thank you for your dedication to us and to Tilton School for the past 13 years. Last year at prom, we all eagerly awaited to take pictures with anyone we could possibly find. Long dresses, high heels, jackets, ties, everything was set to embark on the night all high schoolers look forward to. We all stood outside the library, awaiting our turn in front of the camera, when Miss Stevens entered the scene to take pictures with some of her favorite people. There she stood, head to toe, entirely in red. Red shirt, red pants, topped off with a bright red pair of Uggs. It was the best outfit at prom, and perfectly represented everything Remy was, a colorful, vibrant human being. The same personality the class of 2017 feels blessed to have shared. For all of these reasons, as our class gift, the senior class is giving 2 red Adirondack chairs to be placed in Miss Stevens' memorial garden. The red symbolizes Remy's vibrant spirit, and the flowers in the garden will remind us that all of us are capable of creating refreshing moments with each other. In addition, the class would like to thank Board of Trustees member Topher Hamlet, who matched our class's additional leadership gift in support of the athletic and outdoor and art program. To the class of 2017, thank you for being yourselves each day and making Tilton not only a close community, but a family. I wish you all the best of luck in whatever you may find yourself doing, and hope you will all live each day with the intent to make someone else smile as Miss Stevens did. Thank you, Tilton. Thank you, faculty, and thank you to each student. Congratulations to the class of 2017. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. This is the moment we have all been waiting for. I would now like to ask Mr. Landrosh and Ms. Bird to assist me in awarding the diplomas.
So before I start, let me nod to my friends and colleagues on the faculty. Each year, I'm doing this for a couple now, I look out over this podium facing you, and each year I am just in awe of your willingness to build a world together on this hill. A world that nurtures the hearts, the minds, and the hands of 260 teenagers. Thank you for your work. For the many who will remain here next year, you shall rest a bit and do it all over again, starting Monday. For those who are like these graduates who will be leaving us, thank you for your work with us. You will be missed. And now, we'll start with the awarding of the diplomas. Are you ready? Spencer Crawford Albright. Konstantinos Stylianos Asprogianis. Grace Marie Bailey. Matthew Lee Baronis. Thomas James Barth. Ashley Jordan Berube. Robert James Bristonis in absentia. We can give him a hand. Let's give Robert a hand. Jason Edward Bogats. Ryan James Bonvy.
Attaboy, Ryan.
Terrell Lamont Brown. Emma Christine Burgess Dunn. Jalen Andrew Butler. One of Tilton's great traditions is to celebrate family by inviting its employees and Board of Trustee members to award the Tilton School Diploma to their graduating children. And so, I'll ask Amy Vogt to come to the podium. Thank you, Amy.
What the heck?
Matthew Vogt Cartmel. Parker Stephen Chartier. Rishalvin Chen Chow. Hao Chi Chen. Shannon Patricia Colbert. Griffin Marcus Connor. Georgia May Cullington. Ciara Jaleese Dillon. Oliver Gage Dinowitz. Anne Margaret DeCiccio. Melissa Ida Donovan. I'll ask Board of Trustee member Jerry Doe to come forward. Hi Ray Doe. I'll ask Board of Trustee member Michelle Downs to step forward. Madison Rose Downs. Madison C. Duclos. Nicholas Alexander Beret.
Love you too.
Samuel Lloyd Foley.
Straight face. Stone cold.
Andrew Nicholas Capitiano.
Party time!
Noah Max Goodman Eisenberg, in absentia. David William Guyot. Mary Claire Hanley. Spencer Calder Hayes. Caitlin Marion Hess. Tatsuhiko Ota. I'll ask Keith Jocks to step forward. Thank you, Keith. Gage Brian Jocks.
Way to go, Dave!
Callahan Daniel Johnson. Joshua Patrick Jones. Supanat Zin Prasatser. Minho Kim, in absentia. Mason Rose Kimball. Matthew James Klinkenberg. Nadaran Kuruichawa. Marti Leitradran. Ryan Christopher Lehman. Happy birthday. Mark Francis Leary Jr.
I love you, Mark.
Singryong Lee. Joshua Lee Lennon. Shuya Luo. Alberto Martinez Rodriguez. Avery Paul Martinson. Nicholas Lacey McCosh. Zachary Robert McQuinney.
Yes, sir.
Lin Chin Mei. Eleanor Cassidy Miller. Celia Morera Mateos Aparicio. Sarah Marie Morin. John Edward Moretti. Thomas Joseph Murphy. Seth Robert Murray. Michael Wani Wangu. Andrew Edward Neto. Scott Charles Newton. Riley Ann Nichols. Lawrence Thomas Nyland. Olivia Rose Orlando. Keegan Ray Parker. Connor Shelton Hope. Alan Joseph Reti Jr. I'll ask English Department Chair Darren Redmond to come forward.
We made it.
Thank you, Darren. Halsey Emerson Redmond. Alyssa Catherine Rosengart.
I've been in the mock.
Pablo Manuel Rufo Mingo. Catherine Margaret Ryan. I'll ask Rachel Saliba to come forward, please. Samantha Ann Saliba. Miss Saunders, you can just carry that diploma right on over. Isaiah Daniel Saunders.
Yes, Zay.
Love you, Zay!
Bin Shen. Andrew Eastman Somerville. Richard Daniel Steinberg.
Yeah, Richard.
Mackenzie Diane Stephen. Christopher Joseph Sullivan. Joshua Michael Swanson. Nicole Ellen Venberlo. Thomas Christopher Wendt Jr. Brandon Michael Wills. Kung Hao Wong. Giao Kong Yi. Akboda A. Yursit. Peichi Yu. Jiting Zhong. Mingyi Zhao. And now I'll ask everyone to rise. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the Tilton School graduating class of 2017.
Please remain standing for the benediction. We are thankful for the unique talents which each of us is born, for the support of the relationships we have of grace and good guidance. We help each other by sharing our gifts of creativity, critical thinking, leadership, love, and service. We lead. We support and respect all those who work to make our lives both challenging, safe, and of value. We are strong. We honor ourselves and others, leading a noble life to serve, to create, and a legacy. We are grateful. We honor our graduates who go forth with their knowledge and their dreams. Let them continue to learn from the world, fill their hearts with compassion, and lead purposeful lives. It is their empathy, leadership, strength, and vision that will help strengthen our communities. We are dreamers. We are pioneers. We are the future. We are Tilton. Amen.
The faculty will process. We will form a receiving line stretching along here towards the tents, and then the seniors will come through for their final farewell.
One of the best so good. Falling apart here.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
No, Hopefully it's clear.
Hey, thanks, you too.
Alright, I still got it again.
Easy. Careful. Dead soldier. We're just going.
Hey, we're back. Olivia.
I did it.
Go, Ray.
Timmy.
我要把这个给我爸妈。
All right, all right.